Morning, Kingdom Comics. Getting ready to go make a little bit of money today. Just wanted to show you some progress on page 3. If you haven't seen my channel before, I'm pretty much developing a comic book, uh, basically from scratch. You know what I mean? I'm basically developing the characters. And I've been inking page 3, started yesterday. It's looking pretty tight. You can see these guys I finally got them to these double doors. You leave off, they're right here where these black double doors are. And so they're looking through the doors and see all the bad guys. The head guy, the captain, and it's going to turn out that he's related to a powerful politician, like he's the son of a powerful politician that's using their personal yacht to transport drugs. And this is how I'm going to create tension in the storyline because he's going to get killed. This is the type of stuff that I'm going to write. So basically, that's going to cause his father to have hard feelings towards the archangels. But anyway, yeah. I had to use a little bit of white out because I brought his brow, this area right here, I brought it too far inward. So I had to bring it back towards the hairline with a little bit of white out, but not bad. In the ear gave me some trouble. But other than that, it's coming together nicely. Started inking the contraption. He's got like ball joints and tie rods that are connected to this this power pack on his back so that his right arm is like robotic and it's like extra strong so he can basically shoot a M60 machine gun, which is what he's going to have with one hand because he's got like a cybernetic arm set up. But it's very like it doesn't look like Terminator. It looks more steampunk. To give him leverage and power, give him strength, give him like extra, uh, superhuman strength in one arm basically, and his torso is metal too. So his torso and his right arm are basically metal. But yeah, here it is, page 3 coming together. Does this person look familiar yet? Does this guy look familiar yet? It's somebody in the comic book. It's somebody in Comicsgate. I'll give you that much of a hint. I've already talked about it before, but if you're new, you probably don't know. I'm just throwing in a little caricature of Ethan Van Sciver. I've already told Ethan too, and he was like, "Oh, I want to see that." I told him in a super chat. So when I get this page up on Indiegogo, I have a super chat. Be like, "Hey, my comic book is up." And if you scroll down to page 3, there's a caricature of you in it, basically. Here he is. Doesn't that look a little like Ethan? I gotta look at his videos a little bit more, you know what I mean? Make sure I get it all right. But generally, that's pretty much, what Ethan Van Sciver looks like. So here's page 3 coming along. Coming right along. It's a little different than page 2, but I think they look okay next to each other. And I'm working towards the next when you turn page 3. So when you flip like that, bang, it's going to be a big double page spread. It's going to be panels, you know what I mean? But it's going to be, you'll see on the left page, you'll see all the guys like shooting at the door. You'll see all the bad guys shooting at the door. But you know, he's shooting. You know, he's got basically a 60 cal, and he's like, bah, 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 bah. And they're all like, ah, and they're all like shooting holes in the door. And then at the very bottom of page 4, you'll see like the door with like bullet holes in it with like light streaming through. Then, then on page 5, you'll see a big. I'll show you. I'll show you later because I don't really have time. I gotta walk my dog, but you get the point. Basically, you'll see these guys on page 5, like uh, basically shooting. I've already showed before. This guy launches a grenade, a smoke grenade, or a tear gas, like kind of like a tear gas grenade. It's their own, you know, it's their own concoction of like a smoke grenade slash tear gas grenade, and he launches it through the door, and it sticks right in this guy's eye socket. And then he falls over with smoke pouring out of his face. And they all start coughing and gagging, and the whole room fills up with smoke. And then there's an explosion, and these two are walking in right in the middle of the explosion because you know their armor protects them from it. And you know they basically blow the doors open and come in the midst of an explosion and fire in their guns, and then it's just like a page or a couple pages of like dudes getting blown, like silhouettes of all these criminals getting blown away in the smoke. Basically, you know, you see all this smoke and silhouettes of dudes just like with bullets with flesh coming off them and shit like that. It's going to be pretty tight. The smoke is so that it won't be so violent, you know what I mean? Like to keep just to cut down on the blood and gore a little bit. I'm going to use little tricks like that here and there so that sometimes I'm just going to show the gore, you know what I mean, if I feel like it. But, you know, I'm not going to do it all the time. I'm going to try to be tasteful about it. Uh which will be cool because later down the road this guy's father will probably call on Nebulord to get vengeance on the archangels. So the I'm starting to I have to have some pictures. I have to do a picture of Nebulord. So I'm gonna finish page 3 and I'm gonna do a picture of Nebulord. And he's going to be mostly black, like I'm not quite sure, but he's going to be very wraith like a wraith kind of. Uh, but he's going to have like black, shiny armor or something crazy like that. It's probably going to be very Jack Kirby ish, you know what I mean? Like Apocalypse or something, you know, something crazy like that. But, you know, but there's some scenes with Nebulord like that. I have to draw some things that are going to be really challenging, like kind of like Magneto type powers, but it's not magnetic. It's just telekinesis. Like, I don't want to give it away because it's going to be so cool when you guys see it. But, you know, like basically, you know, the guy can destroy like whole cities and stuff like that, basically, with just the motion of his hand. He's very powerful. He's basically Apollyon returned. If you want to get into it, my book, my comic book has some like biblical undertones. If you haven't been watching me, if you're new, it's going to be set in the future to where there was a reprieve. Basically, America was on the verge of civil war, but instead of how do I explain it? like certain events transpire and the country, this is just the backstory, you know what I mean, which I'll probably get into here and there through conversations and back and flashbacks. But generally, like it's in our time, like right now, it talks about our time pretty much right now, where we're on the verge of civil war, everything's a mess. And then and then instead of a civil war happening, this one of the guys in this story's father, who's notorious in history. I don't know if he's still alive. I might have him still be alive. He starts a revolution instead, and so the states kind of secede and overthrow the deep state, so to speak. And then we get a reprieve for a while, like kind of like Nineveh in the Bible. Like America gets a reprieve, but things eventually, you know, people get lackadaisical and slack, and things go bad, and then basically World War III happens, and basically, or the Day of Judgment basically comes, so I want to say it's so because I need an excuse for there to be better technology, so we get better, like you know, we get some technology advances. We get into like the 2030s, kind of like Star Trek, I think, in the 2030s in the Star Trek series, I think. And I'm not positive, don't quote me because I'm not a big Trekkie, although I did used to like to watch the original Star Trek and Next Generation from time to time. I had a roommate when I was in my younger days. What was that? What was Next Generation, like the 90s? I want to say, or was it the late 80s? I want to say it was the late 80s because all I know is I had, no, it couldn't have been. Man, when it was, must have been the late 80s, Star Trek Next Generation. Anybody know? Want to tell me in the comments? But with, you know, uh, with like Data and Ferry. Now all of a sudden I can't think of the bald guy, the captain's name. But my point is I had a upstairs. Okay, my parents rented it to make a little extra money. We had a fairly big house, not a nice house. It was kind of junky all the time, you know, because my father's like a mechanic, electrician type guy, you know, working on cars and stuff, you know. So it wasn't. It was like a big house, but it was just it was always kind of in disarray. But to make a little extra money, they rented out the upstairs to this woman too. I think she was a dyke. Now that I think back, I never asked her. I think I suspected it even back then, if I remember it. Man, these are long. This is a long time ago. But her name, we just call. I just she had everyone call her T, but her name was Thelma, uh, like Thelma and Louise or whatever. But we just called her T, and she was out of the Navy, and she wasn't the most attractive female. Just put it that way. And she was kind of heavy and acted like a man. She was like tough. That's why I think she was a dyke. She kept her hair kind of not short, but like down to here. You know what I mean? Maybe to here. You know, but my point is she was a huge Next Gener. Oh man, she loved it. Just, oh, did you watch Next Generation last night? Oh, you know, Data something other such and such. You know, she would give me the whole. Like, she would give me you know, what do you call it, the whole down low basically. But anyway, uh yeah, I think in the 2030s in the Star Trek series, in the 2030s is when also we have nuclear war or something like that. But that's pretty much what happens. We America gets a reprieve. There's like a revolution. The states secede, they overthrow the deep state, they start governing themselves, but then everybody becomes divisive. Like even the states start fighting amongst each other, and then basically out of nowhere, ban nuclear war. Or well, I'm going to get into the whole nuclear war thing, but basically nuclear war, really big bombs, basically. Is what happens. Not necessarily nuclear, but like really big bombs. And so there's mass destruction. and then we're basically thrown into the Great Tribulation, or what one would believe would be the Great Tribulation. Like things are really crappy. People are living. It's kind of like Fallout, to be serious. To be, I mean, just to give an idea. If you were to walk around the landscape, it's tore up, and all the cities are destroyed, and people are huddling and destroyed makeshift buildings in little towns, and you know what I mean. Trying to uh, trying to rebuild civilization, basically, and yeah, and these guys aren't quite known yet in this part of the storyline, so they're just coming on the scene. Um, basically, so they're not very well. The archangels aren't very well known yet. They've only had a couple encounters with some bad guys, and so there's rumors going around about them, but nobody quite knows their full potential yet. So this guy he's called a weaponoid. There's like a group. There's a gang of like cyberpunk transmogrified humans that will, because of tech. That's why I needed better excuses. That's why I needed time to go on a little bit more before the day of judgment, because I needed technology to advance to the point where there could be people like him walking around. So he's part of a group of humans called the weaponoids, and they're basically steampunk, like half robot, half human people with like gadgets and weapons and all kinds of stuff. They're basically a gang, and they don't believe it. They're kind of like agnostic. I think agnostic is, they don't believe in any god or anything like that. So that's why they embrace the technology, and they just they don't like, he's got like a steel plated face. He's got a steel plated, the side of his corner of his face is steel plated with a big robot eye. And and he's got like steampunk, tie rods and ball joints and metal arm, a robotic arm, and all this stuff is pretty cool. And he's got like a big banded metal cable like that comes out of the backpack and goes right into the back of his head right here. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So that his brain controls so that with all, with whatever wiring is necessary for him to get, for his brain to get the robotic arm to do what he wants it to, basically. But yeah, there he is, and here's this guy. He's got his going up, and he's just kind of like, this is my dad's boat. You know what I mean? He's like, and I'll be damned if he's like, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble. Basically, it's gonna be pretty cool. So there's that, and he's gonna be like, you weaponoids told me that you could stop these guys. You said that there's no way they would get past the 50 cal. So and he's just kind of like talking about how, and he's like, well, they're new. He's up here, with a big machine gun in his arm, talking. He's just kind of like, well, these guys are new on the scene. I haven't, I may have slightly underestimated them, but whatever. But anyway, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. So here it comes, man. Page 3. It's coming along quickly. This panel is the one that's going to give me trouble because it's an interior, and it's like it's not going to stop me, but if anything's going to cause me if anything's going to slow me down, it's going to be the interior, because there's like a table and chairs and shadows from like it's going to be a lot of I'm going to have to use some brain power to get that page done. Or maybe it'll come along quickly. Sometimes I think that's gonna, something's gonna. Sometimes I I surprise myself, and it doesn't, it's not as bad as I think. But I have a feeling that this panel right here is going to be the hardest. And there's some this panel is going to be a little tough too. With the but I think I don't I think the hair, pretty much his hair, which is already looking pretty good. I got it pretty much fully. I'm gonna work it out on another piece of paper to make sure I get it right before I just go in with my inks. But 'cause that's been slowing me down a lot is having to start a page over, and I don't want to do that anymore. Like I've already worked out some of this page on my sketch pad on how I'm gonna on the inking effects I'm gonna use. And but other than that, man, this is it, man. It's right here, page 3 coming along. There it is. So it's pretty cool looking. So I just wanted to do an update and let you see how it's going. Man, it's still dark out here on the East Coast. It's freezing cold out. My old boss wants me to come in for a day and catch up some. It's basically accounts receivable, basically. Um, I have to apply insurance company payments to people's medical bills in the computer, and so that their accounts are up to date, so that if we send someone a bill, it's accurate. And other than that, yeah, I should be back here or by around noon or 1 o'clock, and then I'll probably chill for a little bit, get something to eat, and then I'll bust out the pens and pencils and start finishing page 3. And I'm hoping to get page 3 done by tonight. Then I have to draw like a picture of Nebulord, because I think it would I kind of have to show the main one of the main at least one of the main bad guys for my Indiegogo, which I've been looking on Indiegogo and seeing how other people are doing their, there's like stuff up there. I don't want to get personal and name any names, but there's like comic books up there with like the art. I mean, for okay, like they have their own little style, and that's for sure. But it's like, man, it's I don't know, man. It's like I don't. There's like certain comic books on Indiegogo that have raised like close to $10,000, and it's like the artwork isn't even that great, and I don't know the storyline. Yeah, but whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Maybe they have a following. Maybe they're reliable, and people they've put out comics before and delivered, so people are back them because they have a good reputation for delivering. And so we'll see. I'm hoping. I'm just going on there and trying to gauge. I think I should do like a $10,000 goal, maybe 5,000. I might do like a $5,000 goal and see how it goes. And I think the fact that it's going to be black and white and not color, as it stands now. Maybe later on I can release a color version. You know what I mean? Like I can do like a remastered version of it and color it or something like that. But I think I'm just going to do a black and white. And with black and white, it might save me money on reproduction because color is a lot more expensive to reproduce, I think, to print. You know what I mean? So I might do a color cover. I have to think about it. I have to start. I might break out the Prismacolors and print. Go down to Staples and have them print a few 11 by 17 uh, copies of the cover, on some cardstock and break out the my they're not Prismacolors but Copic I don't know. I got like a whole set of markers and pencils that somebody sold me. They could be stolen for all I know, but somebody sold me like $300 worth of like markers and colored pencils and basically grayscale markers and color markers. It was like $500 worth of markers. It was basically, yeah, like $500 worth of markers and pencils. They sold to me for like $100. I was like, yeah, I'll take those. I had money at the time, and it was before this whole situation we have going on now. It was like back in December, or it was like, I want to say it was last December or so, or last January maybe. And so I got them laying around. I don't even use them. It's like I'm so busy trying to learn inking that I'm just like I don't even want to bother trying to get into color yet. But I do have a fairly decent eye for color, but it's just not like some of these other professionals that have been doing it for 20 years or whatever. Like, so we'll see. We shall see. I might do a color cover, black and white interior, 20, 20, 25 pages. And I'm thinking I should be able to cut down the price of the comic by doing black and white. So we'll see. And we shall see. Anyway, I have to get moving. I still have things to do before I leave for work here. Oh, I wish I could just start drawing right now. I just want to start. I love drawing. I can't even stop myself from drawing. I've tried. Um, if this doesn't pan out and I don't reach my goal, I shouldn't even say that because I'm going to reach my goal on Indiegogo. I am going to reach my goal. It's like, no, I'm just, but if worst case scenario, I don't reach my goal, whether it be 5,000 or 10, I'd like to do a $10,000 goal. But if I don't reach it, I'll probably hang it up for this comic book and just use these pages for a portfolio. Maybe I'll start trying to get some independent work going on. And like basically, I'll have a portfolio at that point. Five full. I'll have like five fully inked pages, which means and some pencils in the pencil. I'll work on the pencils too. Hey, what's up, Fenner Fire? I was just showing page 3 is in production. Look at this steampunk guy. He's got tie rods and ball joints connected to his arm. He's got like a big disc joint right there with ball joints and tie rods going up to his shoulder. And I'm getting ready to go to work, but I just wanted to give an update. So here's page 2 and 3. Let me show you this comic book. It is really coming together. Got the cover, which I've fixed this digitally. This is just sometimes you do something and it looks okay, then you come back later. Yeah, and then look at this page 1, which I've fixed this a little bit too. I fixed this shoulder guard is way off. So I fixed the shoulder guard digitally, and I this area was a little weird looking. I came in here and fixed that digitally, and I fixed his mask digitally. I'll have to print it out so I can show people without, because I can't screen share. I don't know how to screen share right now. But yeah, so it's like bang, page 1, page 2, you know what I mean? Page 3. I look at this. I made it so the doors are black and they're looking through the doors and they can see the criminals. inside with their, so you're basically seeing what they see with their x-ray vision or whatever, heat vision. Pretty tight looking. But so basically once I have these done, I'll probably I'll probably retouch up everything, like the pencils and everything, and then I'll have the pencils and the inks, and then I can maybe send the pencils out. At the very worst, if this project doesn't work and my Indiegogo fails, which I hope it doesn't, I don't even like talking like that because I'm putting so much work into this. But maybe I'll do like, maybe I'll, to make sure I reach my goal, I'll shoot lower, and then if I make more, I make more. But I don't think I should shoot for under 5,000. I mean, I don't know if it. I mean, if all in all, I don't like after all the work that I do, drawing 25 pages, then printing. If I, in other words, what I'm trying to say is, if I only make a few $1,000s, uh, um, I would think most of that would go towards the printing, finding a print company, printing it off. Meaning, I don't think there would be anything left over after that. If there was, it would be very little, and then I would be, then at 25 page, drawing 25 pages. That's like hour, that would, I'd be, in other words, I don't want to do this for like $1 an hour. You know what I mean? If it was like a regular job and I at least made like $10-15 an hour, then I'd be like, all right, it's worth it to do comic books professionally, and I would just keep putting them out. But like I said, if this doesn't work, I should have. I'm just trying to figure out what my goal should be on Indiegogo. Should I do like five? I don't think I should. I feel like I shouldn't ask for anything less than $10,000. So, um, my point being is, because I want to have some money left over for myself for doing all the work after, I mean, I don't want to put out, I can't, it's not, I don't want to, I can't put comic books out for free. You know what I mean? If I don't reach the goal, and, if I set a $10,000 goal and I don't reach it, I'm just going to be like, okay, so Archangels, didn't work out, but I'll have all this artwork for a portfolio. So I'll probably touch up the pencils, like do really nice pencils, and I'll probably um, start trying to find work. I'll probably start looking online for people that need pencilers for like smaller independent projects or something like that. I don't know. The problem is I've never seen. I've looked. All right, I've already looked at on like some of these jobs websites for work as a penciler for independent comic books, and it's like that the people are never, they never are offering you any money. It's like you got to wait till after it's done. Like, they're trying to do a project like I'm trying to do, but they can't draw, so they're trying to find an artist who can draw, and then I got to do it all for free and then hope that they pay me after it's all done. It's just, this industry is so effed. It's so effed up. You know what I mean? I never saw anybody like, hey, $50 a page, even $50 a page, I would work for. I would work for $50 a page. Um, I've never seen anybody like, hey, $50 a page. They always say no money up front. You know what I mean? Or this and that. You know what I mean? It's like, really? I gotta do all the work and then trust that you'll pay me afterward, huh? Just on a handshake too, no contract. But anyway, so I'm like one page. Well, after this page is done, I'm gonna do a picture of Nebula. Like, I'm gonna do, maybe I'll do like a battle scene between the main guy, my main guy, the commander of the Archangels. Maybe I'll do like a scene where they're getting ready to start clobbering each other, and him and Nebulord, because um his where is it? His armor is not from this dimension. See that? His armor is made from a material from like the fifth dimension, which is the dimension. It's hard to explain. Like I get into this, there's like in my storyline, there's like seven dimensions. God is in the seventh. Like the real true heaven is in the seventh, and that's where all the angels were. Okay, like all the it gets really it gets crazy, man. Like they okay, like this I'm not giving away my storyline because people I'm going on. I mean, I'm not, I'm not, it's my fault. I'm not blaming anybody else. It's my fault for letting my storyline out. Uh, but I'm already going on, I'm already seeing guys go on like page one comics, open mics and going, oh, yeah, this is this is my idea for a comic, and it's fallen angels and Nephilim, which is what my comic is based on. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, I left it, and it could be by chance, but it just seems like it's too coincidental. But anyway, so I'm probably gonna stop divulging so much of my storyline. But but basically, yeah, his armor is made from metal from the fifth dimension, which is like so it's like super strong, super light, and basically because like they can travel interdimensionally in the arc. It's just they don't. It's risky because like you can run into like basically gods doing this type of stuff and demons and all kinds of stuff and it's tricky. It's tricky. They don't necessarily like doing it. Oh, I gotta find you on Twitter. I'm gonna write that down right now, bro. All right, I'm gonna write you down right now. I've been meaning to look for you on Twitter. I'm on Twitter under. I'm actually. I'll just try. I'm not very good at Twitter. I just only. I was like a year or two ago. I just opened an account because everyone kept going, "Oh, Twitter, 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 oh, Twitter, 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 oh, Twitter, yeah, Twitter." You know what I mean? So I just kind of opened an account and left it sitting there. But I forgot to look for you, so I'm gonna write it down right now. I will go on and try to contact you on Twitter, I guess. How do you contact you? Just message? Like, is there a messenger like on Facebook? Fen Frenmer Fire Lord Lormerk. Okay, that's a cool name. Twitter. I'm gonna look for you on Twitter. Maybe you can help me. I am going to look you up. No, I will definitely. You already told me to look you up, and I said I would, and then I forgot. So now I'm writing it down right there. So um, I will look for you on Twitter. Maybe you can help me. Uh, maybe you can help me get together some people for this. But anyway, all right, cool. Yes, absolutely. I will talk to you. You've been loyal and you show up when I do a show. That's awesome. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm a very curmudgeonly MFer. I think it's just my regular name, Stuart. I should change it. Maybe not. Let me look. I'm going to open up Twitter right now. My pen name is Stuart Michael Lewis. Let me look at what my account is under. It doesn't say my name. Bear with me here. My profile. Here we go. Profile. Yeah, let me okay. Yeah, it's just under my real name. It's under my real name, so I'm gonna reveal my real name to you guys right now. What's up, Lucifer Storm? So I'm gonna write this down for you, Fenrir Fire, so you can find me. This is my real name. Don't Please don't come murder me in my sleep. But this is my real name. Stuart. It doesn't roll. It's very German. And I believe my name has hindered me in many ways, like as far as like being professional, because Hunkler is a very weird. I've actually had people literally like, I was on Facebook one time, and this guy from my hometown, for whatever reason, we got in an argument over politics, and he was a big dude. Like, he was bigger than me. He was tall, muscular dude. A thug looking guy with, like, you know how thugs dress with the fancy baseball caps and everything. And he was making fun of he was like, Stuart Hunkler, what a stupid name. He was like, your name is stupid. He's like, why'd your parents? He's like, he was going, what a effing country bumpkin name like that. No one, he was like, no wonder your life sucks with a name like Stuart Hunkler. Like, he was really going to, and then he was like, if I see you, I'm gonna da 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 da. And then I told him straight out, I was like, if you find me, I said, if you find me in real life, I go, it's not going to be a fist fight, bro. I was like, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to kill you. I told him, I was like, if you come at me in real life, I was like, I'm armed to the teeth wherever I go. I carry a pistol and I carry knives, and I don't hang around with anybody. So if you even approach me, I'm not even going to let you, you know what I mean? I don't even let people, if I'm out in the street, I'm always looking around. You know what I mean? I don't even barely even go out of my house. And when I do, I go right to the store, go in the store, come out of the store, go right back to my house. I don't, if you do catch me outside, I'm usually walking my big giant dog. And and I'm armed, I'm usually armed. And I told him that, I said, if you see me in real life, I go, this is all fun on the internet. It's all fun and games and such. I go, but if you come after me in real life, I'm going to kill you. I was like, you put your hands on me, I'm going to either stab you 15 times. I was like, I told him, I said, I will stab you 15 times if that's what it takes in your head, neck, and chest, or I will shoot you. I go, one or the other. I go, it's not going to be a fist fight, bro. And he never answered me back after that. But anyway, this is that's my name, Stuart Hunkler, and but I think I'm gonna change it to Stuart Michael Lewis, but I'll wait till we hook up on Twitter before I change it. So anyway, um, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not a fist fighter. Look at, man, American males. I talk about, like, I'm a curmudgeonly dude, man. I am a curmudgeonly dude, and that's why it's hard for me to grow my channel, because I'm a little bitter, and I'm jaded, and I got PTSD from thugs and drug addicts and thieves and women, from basically slut culture and women and whores. Basically, this country is just so degenerate. It's so degenerate. I mean, in my town, it's like, oh, you're doing a comic book. Oh, that's pretty cool. Got any crack? You know what I mean? It's like, my comic book isn't crack or heroin, so nobody cares. If I could only find people in my town that were like-minded, that wanted to actually accomplish something and put out a comic book. But the reason nobody cares about comic books anymore in America is because it's not drugs and it's not sex. That's all people want in this country anymore, are drugs, sex, and they want entertainment. But man, read a comic book. Why do that when you can just turn on the television now? So, so I'm trying to be friendly and happy and have a good attitude. But it's really hard for me to build my channel because I'm just so curmudgeon. The best word I can think of is curmudgeonly or jaded. I am so jaded. Find me on Twitter. Maybe you can help me actually, like message me or something. I don't even know how to message messages. Oh, here we go. Messages. I found it. Let me search for you right now. I'm gonna search for you right now, Fenrir Fire. Uh, there must be a way to search for people. Search Twitter for Lormerk. Lormerk, I found you. Oh, cool. I found you, bro. All right, I'm gonna follow you right now. There, I just hit following. And let me see. I want to see if I can edit my profile. I got one follower and I'm following three people. I wonder if I can how do I edit my name? I might be stuck with that name for now. Why does it bring me to... All right, I'm gonna send you a message if I can. See, I don't even know how to message you. Oh wait, just go to messages, I think. Hmm. You might have to send me a message because I don't know how to, like, I'm not, I went to your page and it's not like it, I didn't see a button for a message. There's following, which I saw that button. I got to learn how to use Twitter. I got to learn how to use Twitter. So that's a cool Boba Fett. Pew pew. How do I message you? Oh, you got the cyborg from Blade Runner as your photo, played by Rutger Hauer. The battle. He was like the combat. He was the combat droid. He was awesome. Rutger Hauer. I think that was his best role. All right, cool. You're following me. All right, cool. No, I see you got. What was his name? What was Rutger Hauer's name in Blade Runner? The character. Uh, I want to find it now. He was such an awesome character. You got the scene at the end where he dies and releases the dove. What an awesome scene! How can you not? Oh, that scene in Blade Runner when he saves Blade Runner's life because he realizes it's like futile and he wants to do like one he wants to do a good act before he dies or something. So he saves he saves the Blade Runner's life and then he like tells him like all the beautiful things he's seen with his the life that he's been given. He's like, I've seen things you can't imagine. He's like, I've seen stars. He's like, I've seen I've seen stars off the shoulder of Orion and all this stuff like from battleships. And then he's like, and then he just dies and release it, and the doves released it. Oh man, that just talking about that scene is almost bringing me to tears. That's how deep that scene is with Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer. He plays Roy Batty. He plays Roy Batty. Rutger Hauer is dead. I didn't know. I did not know Rutger Hauer died. I did not know that. I got too many. I got too many screens open. Message me, Lormer, so I can message you back. I want to show you some of the pages I cleaned up digitally. They look so good. Like you thought this page looks good before. It looks fantastic now. Where am I? Right here. Oh man, I can't believe he died, bro. Stuart Hunkler. Here, I'll show you. Stuart Hunkler. Man, I can't type today. Stuart Hunkler. There, I'll type it for you. Yeah, that cheers that dude, Lucifer Storm. That scene at the end of Blade Runner, like I'm saying, he's just it's me. My eyes, dude. Look at my eyes are watering. My eyes are watering. Talking about that scene from Blade Runner, nobody ever talks about it. You like when you hear Blade Runner, you don't hardly ever hear about the scene at the end where Roy Batty, he's like the combat version. He's like the combat droid. He's just like that speech that he gives. Dude, I'm choking up right now. Literally, I'm choking up right now just thinking about that scene. It's incredible. See, I have feelings. I'm not a bad guy. I'm crying talking about a movie. Look at my eyes. My eyes are tearing up. That scene at the end of Blade Runner when he releases that dove is just incredible. All right, cool. I'll learn how to. I'll learn how to use it. I swear to God. Yeah, I have a message. Yo, what up? Can I now? I gotta learn how to reply. I'm gonna send you. Look at this. Oh man, wait till you see this now. There, I sent you the new page one. It is sick looking. Like I cleaned up his armor. I fixed the face mask. I fixed the shoulder, the left shoulder guard. I sent you page one. Dude, Blade Runner's super deep. It's making my eyes tear up just talking about it. Like people like I saw Blade Runner in the theater in the 80s with my father. My father was a cool dude back in the day, man. I'm telling you, I had a really good father. And I'm gonna send you the new cover too. The cover cleaned up. So you got some of my artwork. Yeah, I fixed up the cover a little bit too, so you can check that out. But my father, I was fortunate enough to have a father that wasn't a okay, like cocaine and heroin, cocaine really got really big in the 80s, and people had a lot of money. Cost of living was was low. People were making the money that we make now back in the 80s when a pack of cigarettes was like 75 cents. You understand? My father was making more money. My father out of high school with just basically military background was making more money in the 70s and 80s than I'm making now. So and the cost of living in the 80s was dirt cheap compared to now. So I was fortunate enough to have a father that wasn't a drug addict. He drank a lot, like a lot. My father, like, dude, you would go down in the basement, and the whole back of my basement were cases and cases and cases. Like I'm talking about like a whole truckload, like the type of truck that shows up to the store, like delivering Fritos and shit like that, like a big truck. My father had enough empty cases of Heineken, of bottles of Heineken in the basement to like fill up one of those trucks at one point. He was just saving them and saving them for a rainy day because that's when they started the whole $5 deposit thing. Was back in the 5 cent deposit thing, and he eventually brought them all and got them redeemed and got a whole bunch of money from it. But the point being is my father was cool enough to bring me to cool movies like Blade Runner. I saw with my father in the theater just as a kid, and that movie was deep. I was like, whoa, I couldn't even wrap my. I was like, I don't even know. I was like, what, 14, 12 years old, 14 years old when Blade Runner came out. I couldn't even wrap my head around it fully at that time, but I understood it enough to know that it was a deep movie. And then I saw Superman, the original Superman 1, because he knew I loved comic books when I was a kid. I loved comic books. And so Christopher Reeves Superman 1 I saw in the theater with my father. Just movies like that. I saw Caveman, the comedy Caveman, if you've never seen Caveman, with Ringo Starr and what's his name from Inner Space there, Dennis Quaid and Ringo Starr in the movie Caveman. My father brought me and all my friends from school, like three of my friends from school, to see the movie Caveman in the movie theater. Lana Zug Zug or Atuk Zug Zug Lana. But anyway, yeah, I got to go back to work too, or I have to go to work. So, but yeah, we hooked up on Twitter, and maybe you can help me promote some artwork around or find some people that are also interested in comic books that want to get some work done. So I will talk to you later, bro. Um, yeah, man, I have to get going as well. So I just wanted to come in and give an update. I got 3 viewers, 2 thumbs up. That's like a record for me. Thank you for joining me. So I'm not talking to myself. But anyway, here it is, page 3, going out with page 3 in the works. So I hope you guys like it. Take it easy. I'm peacing. Yep, peace, bro.